Hey guys, John here. In this video, I'll be going over account structure, basically figuring out the best way to structure your AdWords account. So this is where we'll start actually getting into some of the nitty-gritty. So first, for overall account structure, really there are two things in my mind that really define how you set up campaigns. One is that search and display campaigns need to be separated, and this is basically defined within the settings of AdWords for best performance. Just just by the way optimization rules and everything are done, search and display campaigns have to be separated. So that's one thing. So we're going to have to separate those two, and then separately, internal reporting defines that, from working with enough clients, I know that brand advertising really needs to be separated. And lots of companies consider both brand and remarketing to be, these are things that are defined by sales that came from their trade shows, etc. For instance, let's use Betsy's case. For Oliver Manufacturing, if somebody types in their brand name, Oliver Manufacturing, and then ends up purchasing a $750,000 order from the website, it is not smart to attribute that sale to the PPC company, or necessarily it's not worthwhile to say, okay, now we're going to go out and spend couple $100,000 on PPC because PPC caused that sale. No, PPC helped that sale, but it doesn't necessarily mean you should drive every single dollar of that back into your PPC, into AdWords. So this sounds like common sense, but if you've ever worked with a third-party pay-per-click company before, you'll notice lots of pay-per-click companies try to attribute as much brand and remarketing advertising to their campaigns as possible. And I think it's just smart as a business owner to keep that separated out. So let's get back here. So that's that. So my overall structure for campaigns. Now, campaigns should remember everything. Everything should be set up so that it can be organized effectively. Your AdWords account will die if it's not organized effectively for you to manage it. If you're, in the olden days, there was, or there still are a lot of PPC software companies out there selling software to manage PPC, which I don't recommend, by the way, but they create hundreds and thousands of ad groups, and it makes management extremely unwieldy. And what ends up happening is nobody ends up managing the account, and software cannot manage ad accounts better than people because this is a sales and marketing related function. Robots can't do sales and marketing. So what ends up happening is the account ends up dying, and competitors just outcompete you. So let me go briefly into this slide right here and explain why are each of these separated out, why are there only 6 campaigns, and why are they separated out as so. First, this should be the brand campaign is search. So this is a search campaign, and the brand campaign is going to be comprised of your brand keywords, and I'll go into that in time. This is a lagging campaign because it's based on results you get. It's based on other activities you're doing in your business, such as trade shows or such as advertising in other arenas, etc. Search remarketing is also search, and it's also lagging. So this is not going to drive new business. It's just going to help you capture more of the sales of current people who are considering your company. Remarketing, this is display advertising, and it's also a lagging campaign. So this is not going to, this is not going to help new people, I guess lagging, this is not going to help new people find your company, but it is going to help bring more of those people already familiar with your company into the fray and turn those people into solid leads, turn them into customers, sales, or just get them to contact your company in some way. Now, here's where it gets exciting, because for lots of people, remarketing is a popular term to throw around nowadays. But at the end of the day, it is still a lagging factor in marketing. It is not bringing awareness of your business to entirely new people. This is incredibly important if you're in business. This is just a given that you should be doing this. Now, if you and it's more important for some people than others, and we'll go into that. Competitor advertising. This will be targeting competitor terms. This will be a campaign that will have, for instance, if Grossman Law Firm, they're personal injury lawyers in New Jersey, personal injury lawyers, New Jersey. For instance, a good competitor term might be, sorry, my computer's bugging out, would be Maisie, Slater, Katz, and Freeman. So if we turn that into a search term, what we'd do is we'd make our ad pop up #1 when anybody searches for Maisie, Slater, Katz, and Freeman. Some people have said that is illegal. It is not illegal at all. You'll notice there are lots of other people showing up for these same terms. Nobody has a monopoly on Google or the yellow page, it's the internet. But your ad can be #1 showing up above those, and you'll effectively steal your competition's leads. Now, they're already, what we're assuming is that people are already familiar with your competition, but that not everybody who's familiar with your competition is actually working with them. And many of those people are open to a second opinion on which personal injury firm to work with if they have a better arrangement. So this is a leading. So this is search, and this is a leading, a very strong, leading. It'll bring more new customers into your business. Display. Obviously, I just named the campaign display, but this is also a leading factor for marketing. Display advertising would be, for instance, if we went to superlawyers.com. So these are, if we'll notice, this is a site that has banner ads on it. Just for instance, so does, as we'll see, hg.org. We'll see there are people looking at reviews of this law firm. Now, if we hover over this little thing, we'll see, first of all, this is Google. If we hover over this little guy right here, what we'll see is that this is actually Google advertising. So we could actually use placements like these to drive new customers. Right here is where we'd want to, right here is where we could buy an ad. So we'd want to be on sites like this, hg.org, that this is an example of display advertising, and it's also a leading marketing factor. And then generic, this is search advertising, and this is also what I call a leading factor for marketing. This will bring new customers in. This is the most common one people focus on, generic right here. And an example of this would be, people searching for acne products, or get rid of my face pimples, or people searching for stuff such as personal injury lawyer, or people searching for gravity separation industrial robot, or whatever people are searching for. So these are terms when people are not familiar with your company, but they are still interested in what your product is, obviously. Now, display is a bit tricky. Display is a lot trickier because you're targeting the entire, it's a lot less targeted. What you'll notice is the groups I really focus on are competitor and generic. I think these are the two most important. I think competitor is one of the most underlooked campaign types that people are running nowadays, and it also can bring insane amounts of volume, targeted volume to to whatever you're running, to whatever your business is. Now, for a company to really stand out, they need to be doing all three of these types, and they need to be able to really take your business to making many millions of dollars. You need to be able to advertise effectively on search and display with people who are unfamiliar with your company so far. So getting those settled is going to be that is what will change your business for the long term, forever. And it will, when you can start advertising in these three areas and make a return on your marketing dollars from that, in terms of getting new customers and getting consistently new leads, yeah, your business will really go to the next level, and you should pat yourself on the back. So so the first thing I want to go into is, so how do you find out what your actual campaigns are? So let's start mapping it out. Let's say we're going to talk about the love vitamin. Let's use that as our first section. We'll do campaign, and we'll do ad group, and we'll say campaign, brand campaign. Now what we'll be advertising on is so, well, let's get the keyword tool up here. So first we want to open up the keyword tool, and this is the most important tool you'll have. Let me put it here. Keyword tool, Google external. I'll put this down in the resources, but just search in Google if you want to go. Just search keyword tool. You have to log into AdWords usually to use it, but it's right here. See, Google AdWords Keyword Planner. It goes, it's the same thing. But that's what you'll click on. So we're going to use this to find searches. So first, brand. What we'll do is we'll search the love vitamin. And we're going to search a couple of the terms. Let's just search. So we have it set to United States, all language, whatever. Some of this stuff doesn't matter. And we want to go to ideas, not ad group ideas, keyword ideas. So we'll see love vitamin. Then we have another thing, love vitamin. So what we're doing, I just did Control-C, copy, and I'm going to add it up here. So up in our little keywords area. Another thing is I'm going to type in the actual URL, the love vitamin as one word, and then I'm going to try thelovevitamin.com. So Google actually doesn't register periods in their search, they just count them as spaces. So I'm just going to get ideas, and I'm going to see how much monthly searches this does. So we see a number of keywords here. So so this is going to be our first sort of ad group. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but what we'll say is we just know their search volume, so we're just going to make love vitamin, the love vitamin as our ad group. Then we're going to go into, so we're actually not going to get into keywords right now. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We're going to have a search. We're going to have remarketing campaign, and that's just going to be for remarketing. We might want to separate it out into general visitors. You could go crazy and just separate it out into general visitors and you know, cart abandonments, but I'm just going to say all. That's generally better than nothing. I say start doing something, and then if it doesn't work out, you know, you can modify. You can start modifying this and make it more targeted. We'll do search remarketing. Search remarketing we can't do anything with at this point, so I'm actually going to delete this because until we know what keywords are working, we don't need to worry about it, and it's also kind of an advanced topic. We'll do display campaign. Some things we'll want to try, and we'll get into this more in the targeting section. I'm jumping ahead of myself a lot, but let's just say placements. And the most important groups to really map out right now are, they're going to be, let's say, competitors and generic. So you'll see I have this 2 to 10K monthly searches rule. And I say you want to have keywords that can grow your business, and consolidated ad groups help management. I already said unattended AdWords accounts fail. Now there are massive exceptions. What this applies to is this applies to the generic campaign. For stuff such as your brand, even if your brand is not getting over 2,000 searches per month, you're going to still want to advertise on it. I want to make that very clear. You always want to advertise on your brand. Competitors, you're going to always want to advertise on your competitors, no matter how small of search volume they are, because that's about as targeted as you can get. But in terms of generic campaigns, we're going to have to go a little bit, a little bit broader. So let's just start getting some ideas, and let's search acne. So acne, so we'll see 74,000 monthly searches. This is going to be too broad for us to target, at least at the moment. You know, we have to get some more specific keywords before we start going there. So this is about 2,000 acne treatments. I'm going to throw this in here. We're going to say acne scar treatments, so we're actually getting more specific. Even though it's a more specific term, it's actually got more search volume. So actually, that means I might want to get rid of acne treatments because I'd rather go more specific and where there is more search volume personally. Acne laser treatment, acne products. So what I'm seeing is, since acne treatments gets only 1,900 searches, and acne laser treatment and acne scar treatment gets so many more searches, I actually think I should be targeting these sorts of keywords rather than just a little more generic acne treatment keyword. So this actually brings me to my second major thing is you want to create high intent ad groups. There are a lot of unknown the reason for this is when you start doing AdWords, there's so many, I'm guessing many of the people here are new advertisers or just advertisers who haven't gotten a lot of traction yet. And as you know, there are a lot of unknown variables. You never know what you're doing wrong, whether it's the settings, is it the targeting you're doing? The targeting meaning the keyword, what keywords you're going after, what placements. You don't know if your ad copy is wrong or right. And you don't know if maybe it's your landing page that's the problem. But if you had obviously the right targeting, if you're targeting the right keywords, you had the right ad copy and the right landing page, everything would work. But, you know, unfortunately, how do you know what is the problem? Well, I say always focus on high intent, you know, keywords or ad groups so that at least you're eliminating one major variable. If we're advertising on something, for instance, such as natural acne info product that cures acne, at least we know that the person is searching exactly for what we have, and in that case, we're, you know, we have no, we know that's not the problem. Or for instance, with a lawyer, if they're searching for New Jersey, you know, New Jersey personal injury lawyer, we know our targeting isn't the problem. It's obvious. If they're searching for a personal injury lawyer in New Jersey, you know, Giovanni is a personal injury lawyer in New Jersey, so there's no disconnect there. So how do we define what's a high intent ad group? Well, first, you know, we could look at TVs, and what you'll notice is they're, you know, I used AIDA just to kind of explain this. This is just somebody is kind of attentive, somebody is interested if they're searching for best TVs under, you know, 1,000. Then once you start searching for LED TV, so this would be the same person, you know, the same person might log on to Google and start looking at TVs. And once they realize, you know, let's just do this, TVs, what we realize is there are 1,000 different types of TVs, you know, high quality TV. You know, if we start looking around, you know, let's just open up a couple tabs here, getting a lot of tabs going. But, you know, how much are these TVs? And, you know, we might realize quickly, oh, we're looking at Samsung TVs and these are way over our price range. You know, we just want to see some pictures of some actual TVs. You know, here's some TVs, and we start clicking around, and then we realize, oh my gosh, $2,500, that's a lot of money. You know, I don't want to spend more than $1,000. All these TVs are ridiculously expensive. I'm just looking for a regular TV. So you get rid of that. So then you say, okay, how, you know, how do I find TV? You know, then you go back to Google. And generally what the person does is they say, okay, I don't want those things, but I want a TV under, let's say, $1,000. Then you realize, well, I don't want one of the, you know, you start getting more specific. So the same person might be saying, okay, I want an LED TV. And then finally, this is the buying keyword. This is where you have, this is where they're going to take action. This person that searched these 3 times, they're probably going to buy when they find from one of the results they see on 42-inch LED Samsung TV, because that's about as specific as you can go. So that's, you want to be over here. You want to be over in where a person is about to take action. This is where the money is. Obviously, companies like Walmart or Best Buy or Amazon can be over here because it's, you know, they're big brands. They can afford to spend a lot of money. They just want people on their site, and they sell a million other products, and they have everything. But for you, if you're trying to start, you want to focus on these buying keywords, this is where your advantage is going to lie. Focusing on these action-oriented buyer keywords. So just to give you an idea, I looked up, you know, here's some of the, you know, these are the search volumes. You know, at TVs, you have a, you know, 165,000 LED TVs. Sure, it's, you know, it's less people are searching for LED TVs, even less for best TVs under 1,000. But this is where the money is. And notice the actual average cost per click. Here's the crazy part: is the average cost per click is even less than most of these other keywords. And this is a buying keyword. So long tail keywords, notice this is 5 keywords, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Long tail keywords are generally not bid on as much, but this is where the money is. And notice how much search volume there is there. This will change, you know, your business if you focus on these sorts of high intent buyer keywords. So what I did was I took that one keyword, Samsung 42-inch LED TV, and I extrapolated it. I said, okay, how many other keywords are there around this? So now this is an e-commerce example, but we're going to use this for our business, our businesses in a second. Notice Samsung 50-inch LED TV, 42-inch, 40-inch, 38-inch, 52-inch. I just tried different combinations. No idea about the market, but what you'll see is that these all have that solid amount of search volume that we're looking for that's going to sustain a big campaign. I guess there aren't a lot of 38-inch TVs, or maybe Samsung just doesn't sell them. So without further ado, let's start getting into actual creating out of ad groups. Let's do this. So first we're gonna, as I said, we don't want to be on the LED TV side. We want to be on the more targeted side. So I'm actually going to delete that. Go over here. So let me X out of some of these tabs. And let's see, home remedies for acne. That sounds good too. Natural acne treatment. Now, laser acne treatment, that's a good one. It's almost 2,000. That's fine. But again, we want those laser targeted. Things. So what we're noticing is there are a lot of keywords around what we have to offer. Just put all these in here. You know what? I'll keep this in here just for demonstration purposes. I want to show you how this kind of evolves as we go along. Acne remedies. Remedy usually describes a home treatment, so that's actually pretty good. What causes acne? Now, this is not a buyer keyword, but we're just kind of saving a lot of these just because I'm trying to give you an idea. These are all different ad groups, or these can all be different ad groups. So adult acne. So obviously, if I sell a acne product, I can advertise on every single one of these and make money, because anybody who's looking for a solution for acne, which is any one of these people, we have a solution for acne over at the Love Vitamin. So the question then becomes, well, now I have all these ad groups, but I only have a limited budget. Let's say you only have $2,000 or let's say $2,000 to advertise your website. You're going to be up to your gills in in the number of actual places to advertise on, and this is just page 1. We have a long ways to go. Acne home remedies, etc. So acne studio, acne rosacea. So let me just keep going for a second here. Best acne scar treatment. That's a nice long tail. And keep in mind, this isn't e-commerce, so we might not get as specific as You know, those 5-word keywords like Samsung LED 42-inch TV, Acne Medicine. So each of these could be its own ad group. But notice this is a long list, and if you only have $2,000 to spend, it's going to be pretty hard to go on that. So what I do is I'm going to try to narrow this down to only the best keywords to advertise on. And for that, I would actually, you know, or another thing I would do is I would notice lots of these bids are super high. I would find out which ones have the lowest. Let's go in here. Which ones have the lowest CPCs? Let's just, sorry, just throwing this up. It's loading for a second. Now, lots of these are pretty high. So given that, what I might even do is I might build out ad groups for all of these. And given that my product is $39, so this is where I might do some backwards engineering. Let's say my product is $39, and right now, since it's an info product, all of that is profit. Sure, you have some costs. There aren't any variable costs to each sale, though. Each sale is, you know, any of your server costs or whatever are already factored in. They're sunk costs, so it's, you know, the variable costs on an info product are zero. So let's just say that's $39 pure profit. Now, obviously, there's some upsells and there are downsells maybe on this actual product, but let's just say for easy sake, the average customer value is $40. We'll make it real simple. So if our average customer value is $40, and let's also say we haven't split tested our page, you know, our landing pages or sales pages or anything yet. So I'm going to say $40, and let's say we don't know our conversion rate on cold traffic, people that are unfamiliar with the website. We don't really know how it works. You know, maybe people on your email list convert real well, but that isn't a representation of somebody who's completely unfamiliar with your company. You know, lots of people trick themselves with, you know, random numbers, and they say their conversion rates are great. So let's see, where is so if we figure a 1% conversion rate, which is pretty low, obviously that can be better. It may be higher. It may actually be too high of a conversion rate if none of the test pages are tested. But let's say 1%. That's generally a good, safe number to use if you have no idea of what you're doing. If 1% of people convert, say 40 cents. So maybe we're willing to bid 40 cents on each of these ad groups. So now we can kind of justify building out a large number of ad groups just to see where we can possibly get clicks. If we bid 40 cents on each of them, it makes our job easy, because then all we're really doing is we're saying, oh, what's going to give us traffic? And, you know, and then we kind of focus from there. So we're really just seeing where can we get some traffic for that low of a bid. And we're really assuming negatively, you know, that we're going to convert horribly. So that's one tactic we could use. That's one tactic I would probably try here. But this is actually what I'm going to do because I want to be more successful than that. So what I'm going to actually think about is, so that's one way to go about structuring this, and we have a number of keywords here. And let's get rid of the ones that don't work. So I'd bid 40 cents on each of these. Let me say ad group, then say bid. Just say 40 cents. Acne scar treatment, get rid of acne products. Rosacea. Not sure, but this actually would be a good set of keywords to build ad groups from. So each of these is going to have a couple keywords in its ad group, but we'll talk about that in a second. What I'd actually be more interested with is, almost at this point, is building out the competitor's ad group. So I want to look at other sites that are similar to the Love Vitamin. Obviously, it's an acne info product. Naturally clear skin. So, acne info products. Let's see if there are any top acne do-it-yourself guides. So we're just trying to find some other information products that help people out. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking on a lot of different sites just to see if any start popping up in ads. And this involves knowing your market. Face Reality Acne Clinic. So I'm going to say Face Reality. So these aren't ad groups yet. What we're doing is we're just kind of spending some time researching what's going on here. Rawhide shoes for pets. Hi, I'm Claire. Coconut oil. 107 everyday uses for coconut oil. So that's pretty cool. Is it an acne treatment though? Not sure. Let's see. Everyday roots. So what we're trying to see is if this is a, I'm not sure this is an info product. Zap acne. So we're just trying to find okay, so we're going to start Neutrogena. So let's try this. So we're just getting some actual treatments in. So I can't find many info products, but what we will do is we can actually target real products. Okay. So we got a couple different products right there. Best acne treatments. Proactive. Proactive is obviously a very popular product. So let's see this. Rodan and Fields. Brown spots. So they don't just do acne. They help out with a lot of different, it seems like they help out with a lot of different things. Exposed skincare. So this looks like an acne product. Exposed skincare. Probably good. Products. Let's actually look at some of their product names. Exposed facial cleanser. Obviously we have Proactive here. And so we're just going through and we're going to try to find supposed, there we go. So what we're doing is we kind of shifted on this overall, we kind of shifted on the love vitamin and are focusing on, we're looking at some competitor terms just to see. So obviously we can get generic terms working, but one thing we can really do is maybe we can target these specific products and find places that people aren't advertising to really do well. So let's see if we can find any big search terms with this. So I'm just copying all of these things into here, and let's see if we come up with anything. So we'll see Proactive, massive search volume. Benzoyl peroxide, massive search volume. But we definitely see there's going to be some opportunity, looking at exposed skincare, there's some opportunity for us to really target these keywords at really cheap, and we can start getting some hits and hopefully some conversions for pretty cheap from some of these terms like extremely specific buyer terms. And we could tell people, hey, look, you don't have to spend $100 or more on acne treatment. You can have your own homemade, do-it-yourself acne treatment. Learn how. Because what the Love Vitamin says is they sell these ebooks that help, that show people how to make their own acne treatment or do it themselves. So that would be the way I would go on this. And I'd continue doing, and I'll go more into this keyword research and whatnot, but I would definitely focus on some of these companies, Urad, exposed skincare, maybe get a little more specific with proactive related terms, proactive, and Peter Thomas Roth. I mean, these are extremely long tail products, but what we'll see is I can probably find some nice long tail proactive keywords here and really target those and just and get some solid search volume. So I'm definitely for the Love Vitamin, I'm definitely going to I'm going to create ad groups around lots of these acne, around a lot of these generic terms. Bids are going to be important because obviously this is a big space, so there's a lot of potential keywords here, but we want to get, we have to cap out bids We don't have to do that on everybody else. And competitors are going to be a really, really big, really big push for us. And I'm just going to kind of write Murad, proactive, exposed skincare, just to remind myself when I come back to the keyword section. These are going to be, oh yeah, Peter Thomas Roth. These are going to be really important keywords for us to target, and we're going to probably be able to break through and get at least start getting our consistent first data back from there. Now let's create a new sheet, and let's do this for the Oliver Manufacturing. Oliver Manufacturing. I'm just going to name this. I'm going to rename this OM structure. I'm going to rename this. So Oliver Manufacturing, obviously we're going to do on the brand term. We're going to, there's going to be brand, there's going to be display, there's going to be remarketing, and competitors, and generic. Now, competitors in a business like, here, let me get some of this stuff off. So you'll see there's a lot of research process that goes into here. Let's okay, there we go. Clean it up a little bit. Now, in terms of all of our manufacturing, one thing is, I don't know this business as well as they do, but I can tell you this, that Oliver Manufacturing knows exactly who their competitors are. In fact, they are most likely on a name basis, and perhaps even friends with every one of their competitors, because there aren't many companies that sell, cylindrical screen tolerance devices or, vision color sorters. You need, that's the sort of information that you're going to, that's going to really help empower you. I don't know those, and it'll be very hard to even find those through research, most likely, although I could actually try. But some of these B2B industries are so small that it's hard to find these things. Well, it actually looks like a number of companies are showing up. Crown gravity separators. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of throw this in here. Crown gravity separator. Adwords. Now what we want to know sometimes is, in terms of ground, now some of these companies, obviously we're going to be going after the term gravity separator, but maybe there's a specific name for this actual product. So I guess it's cleaning wheat. So now in B2B, it really helps, as I said, to know your competitors, because maybe what Oliver Manufacturing does is they provide materials for separating, peanuts, but not wheat. Or maybe they provide materials for separating stones, but not peanuts or wheat, etc., or inorganic materials. So you're going to have to really know what you're looking for. So I'm just going to start LMC mark. Crown. But we also have some product lines here. So I'm going to say Crown. If somebody's looking for one of these specific products of Crown, that might actually be a potential person right there. So what we're going to do is, we're not going to go into this too much right now, but we're going to basically say, okay, we have some competitors. We're going to want to, we have LMC, Lewis A. Carter, Flothweg, separation technology. Separation. Now, just to see if there's any search volume for this, what we'll do is we'll modify search, copy all these terms in here, and we're going to see if, okay, so we're seeing some stuff for Flothweg. Now let's search that and actually see if Flothweg shows up for Flothweg. So we are seeing because sometimes Flothweg might be a generic term to describe something in Scandinavian or whatever. But we are seeing they are a popular company. So because this company is getting a lot of search terms, a lot of searches, we can probably rest assured this is a fairly well-known company in this industry. But they may make a lot of products that we don't sell. So they make decanters, tricanters, sedicanters, and sorticanters. They make belt presses. They help construct mechanical separation technology plants. And so we don't know exactly which industry and mineral oil. So if we are Oliver Manufacturing, we might only work in a particular section of what they do. So let's see if I can find out. And this is where, as I said, it takes so much research. But if you're the company, you already know this. So Oliver Manufacturing, let's see, industries we serve. Agriculture, lumber, recycling, powder bulk, coffee, mining. So they work with a lot of organic materials. They don't do sewage, it seems like. So in these sorts of things, the questions I would ask myself is, for Flothweg, are they mainly working with industrial waste and sewage? Or are they also working a lot with kind of food and organic material? And are those different? Are these different, completely different industries? I mean, so maybe Flothweg is not a good competitor for us to target if we are Oliver Manufacturing, because it looks like Flothweg, their devices may be more for industrial waste, whereas ours is more for agricultural, organic types of food and stuff. So they may be completely different specialties that, even though they sell the same sorts of gravity separation devices, the difference is in industry and use maybe just so different that this is not a good competitor to target. Even though it has the most search volume for this industry. So this is where you'd really need industry knowledge to know the competitors, and also know the terms. But I'm hoping it's helping walking through my mind process and what I'm doing here to figure out what's going on. So we have all these. So I'm going to kind of separate myself from some of these competitors right now. But I'm going to focus on what we do know is gravity separators, we know we have color sorters, destoners, gravity separators, and gravity separator, gravity separators, destoner, destoners. Let's get some ideas. Fluidized bed dryer. So I'm just doing the singular and the plural. Fluidized bed dryer. See, we're seeing about 100 searches a month, and keep in mind, some of these things, that's pretty good. Let's see, color sorter. So color sorter, what I might, and what you'll see here is we have a lot of searches: fluid bed dryer, fluid bed dryers, fluidized bed reactor, fluidized bed filter, fluidized bed combustion. So this may be a research term, but remember, we're just going after products here. So fluidized bed filter, well, maybe these bed dryers need new filters all the time, but the thing is, maybe that doesn't really, maybe that's low, maybe this isn't only $100 product when you really care about the $200,000, selling the $200,000 products. So you want to focus on where the money is, and but I think that gives us a pretty good idea for our generic stuff, is that we're going to want to focus on our product categories, which is, and we found that right here. Basically these 5. So there we go. Competitors, we would need more info. We would need to actually, I'd need to actually be the business owner in this sense, in this case. But this stuff is obviously easy. Or not display, but the brand stuff. In terms of Grossman Law Firm, I think that's fairly similar to what we were talking about with the acne product. In terms of, we're still looking at stuff like car accidents, etc. We're just setting a target, we're going to have to set targeting around actual, just New Jersey, medical malpractice, etc. And let's see here. Go home. We'll be looking at, sizes and colors of couches. And also we'll be targeting competitors such as this, one of their big competitors seems to be Restoration Hardware. So, because they sell one of the same couches as Restoration Hardware, or it looks almost exactly the same as Restoration Hardware. And knowing what competitors are better known that sell couches that look exactly like this is going to help us out a lot. So I hope that's been helpful so far. Obviously, we will we'll get more into the nitty-gritty as we go into keywords and whatnot, and I'll do a full build of how I'd actually set up everything. So if that's been helpful, have a good one.